This is episode number 2 in the film world with Diego Bieberach. Like my podcast over at SoundCloud, and be sure you're following me because every Friday I will have a new guest in filmmaking. Follow me at T. Michael Kenyon on both Twitter and Instagram, as well as SoundCloud. Diego and I both collaborated on a short film produced in Houston, Texas. I will have all those links that he has been a part of for you up in the show notes to look over. At this time, please help me welcome the one, the only, Diego Bieberach. Thank you for joining me today on the show. I have someone who I worked with a couple years ago on a set myself, Diego Bieberach. He's recently, since then, moved out to the Atlanta area. Welcome and thank you for joining me, Diego.
Of course, thank you very much. Good morning to you, Thomas.
Good morning on this Facebook chat audio podcast session.
Technology is great.
So what made you decide to move out to Atlanta?
Well, it was about, I want to say 3 years ago, I had decided to pursue my career in acting furthermore and do it full time, not just as a hobby anymore. And so I planned it ever since 3 years ago to save money for 2 years and then move over to LA, Hollywood, because everybody thinks of movies and Hollywood all together. But then once I quit my day job and I started going full time into acting, I started hearing more and more about Atlanta, the Atlanta area, and like all the movies and TV series that are being shot here and the opportunities. And I thought, man, that's a great place to be right now. And once I made the move, I realized that this is the place to be, because unlike, at least personally, I feel like LA has it's a little bit overwhelmed with people trying to make it in the industry, whereas Atlanta is somewhat starting up still. So there is less people, so you can be a bigger fish in a smaller pond, and you have better opportunities that way. So that's what made me come to Atlanta.
All right, very cool. So, be clear that how big do you see yourself? How big of the industry that's right there in Atlanta? How big is everything? What? Tell me a little bit of what's happening out there.
Oh, well, a little bit of what's happening in Atlanta. There is a whole lot happening in Atlanta, to tell you the truth. Just as 2016, for example, we were number one here in Atlanta in movies and production of movies that were shot here. More than anywhere else in the world, more than LA, more than Canada, more than Australia. We had so many movies. For example, all of the Marvel movies are being shot here. Pinewood has a contract with the city of Atlanta and Georgia that all of the Marvel movies are being shot here, for the most part, of course. There is some other ones, of course, as like movie-wise, we got Hidden Figures was shot here, Jumanji was shot here, and so many other ones. Of course, TV series as well. We got the Vampire Diaries, the originals. We got Star. We got the Atlanta show. We got so many other ones. Something that's also being very strong right now is the reenactment shows. Those unsolved mysteries and whatnot. So that's been shot not necessarily here in Atlanta itself, but it's like in Tennessee, and we're very close to it. We're like an hour, 2 hours from it. So that's also pretty a really good opportunity for anybody that wants to come here. And that's just to name a few of the opportunities here.
All right, one of the shows that I watched personally myself, The Walking Dead, that you didn't list yet, but
Yes,
I know that they're out there.
yes. No, The Walking Dead is huge here. Yeah, that slipped my mind. But yes, The Walking Dead is here. Everybody knows about it. There is like even tours. People takes you to the locations and whatnot. So yes, that's a big one. That's a big one. I mean, if you want to be a walker, might as well come here. You can make as well.
Yeah, maybe some easy money, right? And just go and dress up, and it's like a Halloween day.
Yeah, it really is. It's not difficult. If you want to get into like the extra world and get into these big productions like Walking Dead, MacGyver is always looking for people as well. So yeah, it's fun. I had a couple friends that did it, and they're like, "Man, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of makeup on you, but it is fun."
All right, what attracted you to begin a career as an acting? Why do you feel this is the ideal profession for you?
All right. So I was thinking about the other day um, of like my early years when I was a little boy. I'm from Peru. I'm from Lima, Peru, and where I grew up, I didn't grow up in a like I grew up in a lower income um, part of the town. So I never saw acting as an opportunity, as a career opportunity, something that I could really pursue. But I remember when I was little, I asked my mom, it's like, hey, how do you get into commercials and whatnot? And like, how do you do these things? And she said, oh, you gotta go to castings. Like, okay, what are castings? And so she took me to a casting, an open casting, and for some reason we didn't make it in. And then after that, like I just didn't think about it anymore. Like I said, it didn't seem like an opportunity to me until my college years. I was in my last semester of engineering in college, Texas Tech University, and I was watching The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, and I was like, man, what does that guy have that I don't? He's got two arms, I got two arms, he's got two legs, I got two eyes as well. It's the same thing. So I was like, okay, like, what do I need to do to get there? So I paused the DVD, and then I went to the theater department. I started asking around. It's like, hey, I want to do this. How do I do it? And so one person directed me to another one, and finally they said, there's an agent that comes into town twice a month. So I scheduled an appointment with her. At the appointment, I auditioned for her. She said, yeah, we like you. We're going to sign with you. But you got to take classes because you've never taken any. I was like, okay, that sounds fair. So I started taking classes, and a month into it, I got my first commercial. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And yeah, like I really liked it. It was like, on being on set, it was just great. Also, the pay was amazing. And then just the classes were just so much fun. And yeah, that's what got me into it. Now, why I decided that this was the right career for me is because after I graduated, I started working as an engineer for corporate America. And I worked as an engineer for 3 years, 3.5 years. And don't get me wrong, I like engineering. It's just that when I was going back home every day, I felt that there was something missing. there was something still that wasn't fulfilling me. So I kept asking myself, it's like, what's next? What else do I need to do to feel that need fulfilled? So I started taking acting classes again, and I remember how much I liked them. And I started getting involved into more short films, independent films. That's where I met you, and I was like, yes, this is really what I need to do. So that's when I started planning, and what I just told you, I planned it for 2 years.
That's
That's
awesome. So can we expect to see you as the next Spider-Man, maybe? Since that kind
Man, I certainly hope so. Yes,
that
I've been
that
trying
that kind of
tons.
grabbed you into the industry. That
Yes, no,
and
that would be made true. Yes, for sure.
Marvel's already out there, right? They are Spider-Man is a Marvel.
Yes, yes. Homecoming was filmed here, and they're filming the next Avengers with him in it too. So I'm like, okay, maybe, yeah, maybe they'll be looking for another one. Maybe Hispanic Spider-Man. I don't know.
Yeah, the sky's the limit with that. What is a big memory or big moment that you maybe want to relive, or a, a big memory that meant something to you and when you started acting?
Big memory. Uh, when I started acting, like I said, that first time, first commercial. What I really like, what the best moment of that commercial wasn't so much of the shooting. It was when I got there, the audition for it. Uh, Even though I was somewhat new, I did my preparation. And so when I got there, I was already ready to deliver. And yeah, they said, all right, like go ahead, hit your mark, and give me the script, the lines, and we'll audition. So I did, and the guy was like, that was great. You came prepared and all, and like the other ones, like some of the other ones that came by, they didn't even know their lines. I was like, oh, really? So that felt good, being able to uh, having that reassurance that you're doing the right thing by doing your preparation and being better, than most of the people is trying to make it here. That's one thing. But then also just many, many times on set, um, like even watching my fellow actors, what the things that they come up with. I remember in the project that we worked together in the cookie jar. I can't remember the actress's name, but she kept on improvising a line at the end of her speech, and we made like 10 takes, and she said something different every time. Thought it was hilarious, but that was awesome. I get inspired by those things as well.
Yeah, and sometimes in those takes, I think we used one of those which we originally thought wasn't gonna be good. I think we ended up using some of those, some of those funnier takes. They end up working really well.
Yeah.
So, as you know, we all know, and like anything else, connections are a big part of the industry. How many connections have you made that maybe led to a role on a project?
Whew. Well, networking is always huge. No matter where you are, what level you are, where are you in your career, networking and connections are always big. Um, Not just to get you to the right role, but also because it will help you learn. Maybe you can develop your own project as well. Sometimes I hear a lot of actors say, "Man, like I don't get cast on many things." Then the response to that is, well, if you don't get cast, why don't you make your own project and write something for yourself and get a couple of people that you know, those connections, get a DP, get a director, get a writer, put them all together and let's work on something together. So that has helped a lot. That has led me into a role. I had a few ones. Not long ago, I was uh, I was in a theater play, in a one act play, and I met this girl. She was doing another act. She wasn't in the act with me, so I never got to be on stage with her. But we just met, and we're like, "Hey, nice to meet you," and like, "This is what I do," and blah blah blah. And then after, maybe a month and a half after, I get a phone call. Oh no, I get a message on Instagram. She's like, "Diego, are you available for these days?" I was like, "Yes, what's going on?" And she called me and she said, "Yeah, we have a project, a short film we're working on." And she told me the name of the director. I looked her up and she had some great stuff that she had done. It's like, okay, yes, I am available. So there are those times where they called you. It's like, Diego, like you were great on this thing because we saw you, and now we want you again. So keep in mind of that too. When you make the connections, uh, you always make a good impression for them. Always work your best.
All right, we're getting down to the maybe one last question. Then I'll have a few more to wrap up. Just a few more that I want to ask to. Do you have any rituals or habits or like routines that you do on a daily basis?
Rituals, habits. Well, I'm trying to get better at those. But yes, there is this. I have a written statement. Um, Something that my statement is me visualizing where I want to be, knowing where I want to be, where I want to get to, and also including my skill sets. Visualizing those skill sets, how can I get there? And then once I know all of that, I visualize myself already being there. And I have a written statement, uh, which I repeat to myself a couple of times. And yes, I do say, Diego, you're gonna make this because you have great, acting and talent, and you're already making it in this career, things like that. And I think that really helps. As a matter of fact, ever since I started doing it, like it really it brings you joy and reassurance, and it's that law of attraction. If you really want something, it will come to you. The universe will open those doors for you.
All right. So I have some final questions, and we're gonna wrap this up with these three questions. Thank you for doing this with me. In my efforts to spread the knowledge to people who just want to know how
Of
to get
course.
in.
Yes, please. Yeah. If we can inspire more people to follow their dreams, that'll be awesome. If we can inspire one person to follow their dreams, that'll be amazing. Because it is great. The journey is amazing.
So the first of the final questions: what is it that you want to learn from someone who has seen success multiple times?
What is it I want to learn? I think the biggest thing as a person is a mindset. Because a lot of successful people uh, on the film industry and also outside of the film industry, anyone that's successful has a different type of mindset than most of the community because they are hard workers. They know what they want, and they're always striving to on going forward and pushing forward and hustling and all of that. So for me, that's the biggest thing, the that mindset. Um, like it's helped me out a lot on following my dreams. That was a hard decision to make, but I'm glad I took that step and I'm taking the risk. I wouldn't I wouldn't change what I'm doing, and yeah, I just that's what I would like to learn from anybody.
And I just realized one question I skipped over. I'm gonna go back to it now. What role would anyone listening right now recognize you from?
Ah, well, TV probably you would have seen me on Murder Made Me Famous. It's a show that's filming in Dallas. It's a reenactment show. It's on Reel's channel, TV.
It's
Also, I just got,
it's
yeah, I
currently
just got,
currently filming.
it's, I want to say that yes, the season 3 is getting filmed right now. I
Okay,
know
and
they,
you were just on there as a guest. As a
I was,
guest.
yes, I was co-star,
Okay.
co-star on one of the shows.
All
Um,
right.
Also, I got cast for another reenactment shows. I got the email last night. This one's gonna be in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's called Murder Calls. It's actually a murder that happened in Houston. So you'll be seeing that soon. I don't know exactly what channel
Is
that's
that a
gonna be in.
reenactment?
Yes, it's a reenactment as well. Um,
Very
yeah,
cool.
so those you can recognize me from, and of course, if you have seen, like independent films and short films, I have a few, like of course the Cookie Jar that I worked with you. um, I did Robot Dog that won a couple of awards in a film um, competition that they had in Houston. Uh, I done another web series called Turning Tables. It's about waiters and like, well, not waiters, but the life in the restaurant. The waiters, the managers, the busboy, and all of them living together and dealing with the customers. It's a comedy. It's hilarious if you want to take a look at it too. So those are a few. The Anatomy of the Throat, Bully just came out. So those are a few.
All right. Second of the final questions. What I had to go back to my first question because I wanted to make sure I get that in. Why do you think the film industry is important in our world today?
So film industry. Uh, Imagine going to, you had a hard day of work and you're stressed out, and all you want to do is go home and relax. Usually, what people do is, yeah, they go home, they sit down on their couch or they go to their bed, lay down, and they turn on the TV and they, get transported to a different world where they don't have to worry about, the stresses of life or work or whatever else. If the entertainment industry wasn't there, then they wouldn't have that outlet. We wouldn't have that opportunity to just relax and forget about everything else. So I think it's very very helpful for everyone. I mean, it's important. You, me personally, I like um, I yeah I enjoy entertainment, and I yeah, I don't see myself living in a world where you don't have entertainment. You know, just where everything will be
Yeah.
work, it'll be a pain. Yeah.
All right. Our final question before I get there. I'm grateful for you to getting on and talking with me for these 30 minutes here. Um, go go check out his work. You can find. I'll have all these links. He has. Tell me a little about rolling tapes, real quick, because
Oh,
our
well,
initial talk was a very interesting thing that you started up.
yes. So rolling tapes is a business I just started up. It just started 3 weeks ago, as a matter of fact. So what rolling tape is a mobile taping service. So what a taping service is, to start off, it's a place to where actors go to film auditions. You know, whenever there's a roll up for grabs for a movie, a TV series, the casting director sent about 40 to 60 actors an audition. The first audition, at least here in Atlanta, is for the most part, I would say 85, 90% of the time on a video. So the actors have to go to a professional taping service. So you can have professional lighting, professional sound, and professional look to it, and a reader behind it. And so actors have to go to these studios. But now rolling tapes is what I did. I bought a bus, a shuttle bus, an airport bus, and I remodeled the whole thing, the inside. So now I have a studio on wheels. So instead of the actors having to go to the studio to tape it, now we'll be bringing the studio and the taping service to them to make this a lot more convenient. And if they want to do it during their break time at work, they're able to do that. Or if maybe they're on set, like I had times where people is on set and they're not able to leave, and it's like I need to get this audition done. Like, don't worry about it. I'll bring rolling tapes with me, and we'll get it done. So yeah, like it's getting a lot of attention, and I like that. It's a good service, and it's starting to help out people.
So
So
there.
yeah, uh,
Go ahead. Not mean to interrupt, but what can you? What were you gonna say?
I was like, yeah, please go ahead and check it out. The website is www.rollingtapes.com, and you can have more information there. If you live here in the Atlanta area, you can book us, and I'll come out and help you guys with your auditions.
Yeah. Also, you have your Facebook page as well, and
Yes, I have Facebook and an Instagram for Rolling Tapes. You can look it up as Rolling Tapes LLC on both of them, Instagram and Facebook, and you'll find it. There's a couple cool videos in there too.
so like where I always heard we have the TriCasters. These TriCasters in the streaming world, but that I work in, they're often called studio in a box, or what I'm using to record this right now, studio in your hand. But what you have this van that you transferred into a studio in a box on wheels, and you just take the recording studio to the person who needs the reel. That's a very cool concept, and I don't think a lot of people are. Now there's studios in truck. There's studio TV trucks, but this is a studio on a more personal level. It seems to me.
Yes, it's yeah, it's a studio. It's you don't whenever you because the feel that I wanted out of it was where you not feel you're walking into a truck, but you're walking into a studio. and I think it does. It has achieved that. Whenever you walk in, you're in a studio, taping studio. And yeah, like yeah, it does make feel people feel comfortable once they're in there. So yeah, it's a new concept. Nobody else is doing that. This is the first of a kind. So yes.
All right, our final question for this. Now that I learned a little about you, get what you're doing out there to people so they can go check you out. Now imagine it's your last day on this earth. I get this from, I can't take credit for this question. I sadly, but I love it so much, and I want to ask this at the end of my shows. I listened to another podcast, and he asked this question exactly, from exactly how I phrase everything about it. It's your last day on Earth. You're on your bed. Your family and everything is around you. They're talking with you. You know it's your last day. Everything you've done has been somewhat erased. Zombie apocalypse or something. Something happened. Everything got erased that you did. And you want to leave a legacy behind. You want to be remembered. You want people to know and learn from you what you've learned from your experiences. And with everything gone, they give you one piece of paper and a pencil, and they'd say, write down 3 truths of what you learned in your life. What are those 3 truths?
Truths. It's a very interesting question. One of them, the one that comes to mind immediately is, if people is going to read this as a legacy, is that sometimes it's not about the goals. Like, it's great to have goals, but sometimes the journey is better. So I think that's a real truth. Enjoy your journey before you make it to the goal. That's one. 2, take risk. Because especially if it's my last day on earth, life is short. So please do take risk. Take risk on what you want to do, or if you want to be, an actor, a director, a writer, or if you want to put your business, if you want to, become the CEO of a already made company. Take a risk. Try it. The worst thing that can happen is you make it somewhat high and you don't get there, but you'll get up there. You'll go higher than where you are right now. And then another, I guess the last truth would be, always be grateful for what you have at this moment. Enjoy the moments that you have. Enjoy your company, your family. If you have wife or kids, enjoy that as well. So enjoy the moments as well, the present.
Thank you. That was very cool, very good. Thank you for joining me today. We gotta cut this short, but we cut not short, but try and keeping these at around 30 minutes for now. Maybe as I get more into this, I can go longer, and as I grow into this myself. But this is only my second one.
No, that's perfect. Thank you for having me. Thank you for asking me to be on your podcast.
Check out the next Spider-Man, Diego Bieberach. I'm sorry if I butchered that a little bit, but
difficult one.
Say your name for everyone.
Diego Bieberach.
All right, there you go. Thank you for coming on today, and wish you all the best, and keep in touch, man. Always, and maybe have you back on another day in those longer podcasts when I get on.
Yeah, let me know. Good to hear you, man. Take care.
All right, talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. There you have it. If you like this podcast, give it a like. Tweet me at tmichaelkenyon on Twitter and Instagram. Be sure you are following me also on SoundCloud at tmichaelkenyon. Share this with your friends and whoever else needs to hear what was said in the show. Thank you for clicking and listening, and I hope this brings you tremendous value in your life.